The Epistle to the Galatians, chapter 3, part 2. Continuing his argument from the Scriptures, Paul reminds them that the conventional nature of the promise made to Abraham means it cannot be broken. Galatians 3:15-16. Brothers, I speak like men, though it is only a man's covenant, yet when it has been confirmed, no one makes it void or adds to it. Now the promises were spoken to Abraham and to his seed. He doesn't say to seeds, as of many, but as of one, to your seed, which is Christ. Therefore, the promise, along with its inheritance to Abraham and his seed, Christ, remained firm, even when the law came along 430 years later. Galatians 3:17-18. Now I say this, a covenant confirmed beforehand by God in Christ, the law, which came 430 years after, does not annul, so as to make the promise of no effect. For if the inheritance is of the law, it is no more of promise, but God has granted it to Abraham by promise. What was the purpose of the law then? Paul answers that it was added because of transgressions until the seed, Christ, should come. Galatians 3:19-20. What then is the law? It was added because of transgressions until the seed should come to whom the promise has been made. It was ordained through angels by the hand of a mediator. Now a mediator is not between one, but God is one. It was not against the promises of God, but because it could not provide life itself, it served the purpose of confining all under sin until the promise by faith in Jesus could be given to all those who believe. Galatians 3:21-22. Is the law then against the promises of God? Certainly not. For if there had been a law given which could make alive, most assuredly righteousness would have been of the law. But the Scriptures shut up all things under sin, that the promise by faith in Jesus Christ might be given to those who believe. Thus the law served to keep them under guard, kept from the faith which would afterward be revealed. To put it another way, it was like a tutor leading them to Christ, where they could be justified by faith. Galatians 3:23-24. But before faith came, we were kept in custody under the law, shut up to the faith which should afterwards be revealed, so that the law has become our tutor to bring us to Christ, that we might be justified by faith. Once faith had arrived, the tutor was no longer over them. Galatians 3:25. But now that faith has come, we are no longer under a tutor. Paul then proceeds with a practical argument to prove we are justified by faith in Christ, which will be continued on into the 4th chapter. Through faith they have become sons of God in Christ, for in being baptized into Christ, they had put on Christ. Galatians 3:26-27. For you are all children of God, through faith in Christ Jesus. For as many of you as were baptized into Christ have put on Christ. Being in Christ, they are now one in him, with all racial, social, and sexual distinctions removed as it pertains to salvation. Galatians 3:28. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free man, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. Being in Christ also makes them Abraham's seed, and thereby heirs according to promise God made to him. Galatians 3:29. If you are Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to promise. The Epistle to the Galatians, chapter 3, part 2, the end.